If you think a string trimmer is just for cleaning up the edges after mowing, you're about to see why 2025's best string trimmers have become full-on lawn-shaping machines. Today's top models can handle thick brush, overgrown weeds, and precise edging with ease, often replacing a mower for smaller yards. I've tested the leading picks myself, checking cutting power, balance, battery life, and ease of use, so you'll know exactly which one will keep your yard crisp and clean without breaking a sweat. And wait until you see the #1 pick. It's lighter, faster, and tougher than anything else I've used. Let's talk about our top 5 picks for string trimmers in 2025. At number 5, we have the Ryobi 40V HP Brushless Whisper Series 17-inch cordless string trimmer. And if you've been searching for one of the best battery-powered string trimmers of 2025 for big yards without the constant drone of a gas engine, this is a serious contender. I've used a lot of cordless trimmers over the years, but the first thing that jumps out here is the carbon fiber shaft. Not just marketing fluff, it actually keeps the weight down and removes that wrist fatigue you feel after 20 minutes on heavy overgrowth. At around 12 pounds, it's not feather light, but with the balance it offers, you don't notice the heft as much. That adjustable cutting width from 15 to 17 inches sounds like a small detail, but in practice, it changes how you work. 15 inches for tight edging near fences or garden beds, and the full 17 inches when you're clearing a wide patch of waist-high weeds. It supports .080, .95, and .105-inch trimmer line, so you can tailor it for soft grass, thick weeds, or even stubborn brush without swapping tools. And here's where 2025 buyers are paying attention: noise levels. Gas trimmers might have raw torque, but your neighbors hate you for it. This one claims to be 80% quieter than gas, and in my hands, it's not just quieter, it's a lower, less piercing tone, so you can trim early in the morning without waking the block. The variable speed trigger with a 2-speed switch is underrated. High for clearing wild growth, low for precision trimming around flower beds to avoid shredding delicate plants. Runtime matters in cordless models, and with a 6-amp-hour battery and fast charging, this model pushes comfortably through large yards without that dreaded half the lawn is done moment. And reloading? That's where the Real Easy Plus bump feed with Speedwinder crank is a micro surprise. No fighting with tangled line. I've swapped it in under a minute without muttering a single curse word, which is rare for string trimmers. This isn't the cheapest cordless trimmer in 2025, and as a tool-only option, you'll need to make sure you have Ryobi's 40V battery platform. But for homeowners who want a quiet string trimmer for large yards, one that balances power, runtime, and ergonomic handling, this model earns its place in the top 5. It's especially relevant if you want a whisper-quiet carbon fiber shaft trimmer that feels like it's built to last, not just for this summer, but for the next several seasons. At number 4, the Makita XRU15PT 36V LST Brushless String Trimmer Kit. And if your priority in 2025 is finding the best cordless string trimmer for heavy-duty yard work without going gas, this is where Makita quietly dominates. I've tested enough battery-powered trimmers to know that a lot of them stumble when you hit thick, wet weeds. But Makita's outer rotor brushless motor with direct drive feels different. It delivers that torque instantly. And when you lean into dense patches, it doesn't bog down the way cheaper models do. One of the biggest strengths here is the automatic torque drive technology. This isn't just a gimmick. It actively shifts between 3,500 and 6,500 RPM based on load, meaning you're not wasting battery power when you're trimming easy grass, and you're not losing cutting speed when you need a burst of power for stub and overgrowth. Pair that with the 3 manual speed settings: low for delicate edging, medium for typical lawn trimming, and high for tearing through heavy brush, and you get precise control most cordless trimmers in 2025 simply don't offer. The 15-inch cutting swath strikes a sweet spot. You're not swinging an overly wide head that tires your arms, but you're still covering enough ground to move quickly through large areas. It comes loaded with .080-inch twisted quiet line, which is an important detail. The twist not only reduces noise compared to standard round line, but it also slices through grass more efficiently, almost like a sharp blade. Yes, at about 19 pounds, it's heavier than most cordless options, but the weight distribution and Makita's handle design make it surprisingly easy to maneuver, especially with the included shoulder strap. And because this kit includes 2 18V 5.0 amp-hour LXT batteries running in parallel to give you 36 volts total, You're getting both solid runtime and compatibility with Makita's huge 18V tool platform, something professionals and serious DIYers love in 2025 because it means fewer chargers cluttering the shop. If you're after a pro-grade battery string trimmer that can handle large rural properties, thick weeds, and all-day workloads, the XRU15PT feels like it's built for exactly that. It's quiet enough for early mornings, powerful enough for seasonal cleanups, and smart enough with its torque management to stretch runtime without you having to think about it. This is the cordless trimmer you buy if you want something that feels like gas power, minus the fumes, noise, and pull starts. At number 3, the Black+Decker 40V Max String Trimmer, model LST136B. And if you've been hunting for the best lightweight cordless string trimmer in 2025 that can handle both lawn edging and weed trimming without overcomplicating things, this one is hard to beat. This is a trimmer you pick when you want simplicity, but not at the expense of versatility. The first thing that stands out is the power command dial. Instead of guessing how to manage your battery, you get 2 clear modes: max power for thick weeds and stubborn overgrowth, and max runtime for lighter grass trimming when you want to stretch your session without swapping batteries. In practice, it's not just marketing. I've used max runtime mode to finish edging an entire yard on a single charge, and max power mode to clear out a neglected fence line where a lesser trimmer would stall. Black+Decker's power drive transmission is also worth noting. A lot of budget cordless trimmers in 2025 lose torque when you push them into dense patches, but this design sends more of the motor's output straight to the line, keeping your cutting speed consistent. And with the automatic feed spool, you're not stopping every few minutes to bump the head for more line, it just quietly feeds itself, which sounds like a small thing until you realize how much faster you get through the yard without interruptions. It's also a quick transformer. With a simple twist of the shaft, it converts from trimmer to edger in seconds, no tools required. That's especially useful for small to medium-sized yards where you want one cordless yard tool to handle both roles. At just over 43 inches in length and weighing noticeably less than most high-voltage trimmers, it's easy to handle for extended periods, even if you're not used to yard work. One thing to be aware of, this listing is tool only, so you'll need a Black+Decker 36V lithium-ion or 40V max battery and charger. The upside is that if you're already in their cordless ecosystem, it's an easy and cost-effective addition. The 13-inch cutting swath isn't the widest in our 2025 lineup, but for precision edging along driveways or trimming tight spaces around garden beds, it's exactly the right size. If you're looking for the best cordless string trimmer for beginners, or simply want a lightweight 40V trimmer that doubles as a quick switch edger, the LST136B is one of the most approachable, low-maintenance options you can buy in 2025. It's not trying to replace a pro-grade gas trimmer. It's built to make lawn care easier, faster, and a lot less frustrating for the average homeowner. At number 2, we've got the Craftsman V20 Weedwacker String Trimmer and Edger. And in 2025, this is one of the best budget-friendly cordless string trimmers for homeowners who want something light, quick to use, and easy to store. At just 6.3 pounds, it's the lightest trimmer in our list, which makes a huge difference if you're not used to holding a tool for more than a few minutes at a time. This isn't the kind of trimmer you wrestle with. It's the kind you grab, flip on, and finish your edging before your coffee gets cold. One of its biggest appeals is how seamlessly it switches roles. With the turn-to-edge telescoping shaft, you can trim the lawn, then rotate into edging mode without swapping tools. That's not just a space saver, it also means you can finish the job faster because you're not walking back to the garage to grab another piece of equipment. And because the shaft is telescoping, you can adjust it to your height, which is a small but huge comfort detail if you've ever had to hunch over with a fixed-length trimmer. The 2-speed settings are straightforward: high for when you need more cutting power through denser patches, low for when you want to stretch battery life on routine touch-ups. In real use, low speed is perfect for weekly maintenance, while high speed feels more aggressive than you'd expect from such a light tool, especially with its 13-inch cutting swath. The automatic line advance feed means you'll never bump the head on the ground to get more string. It's continuously feeding itself as you go, which is a huge time saver and also prevents that awkward pause mid-cut. The included 0.065-inch single line isn't made for heavy brush, but for grass trimming and clean edging, it's exactly what you need. Craftsman also thought about storage and organization here. The integrated VersaTrack hook lets you hang it right on a wall track system so you can keep your garage tidy and the trimmer ready to grab at a moment's notice. Being part of the V20 cordless system means you can swap the same battery between multiple Craftsman tools, so you're not investing in a one-off battery platform. With a 3-year limited warranty and the reputation of Craftsman's outdoor tools, this is one of the best cordless string trimmers in 2025 for people who value ease of use, portability, and quick job turnaround. It's not designed to take down a field of overgrown weeds, but for regular yard maintenance, edging along sidewalks, and keeping a small to medium lawn looking sharp, it's about as friendly and approachable as a string trimmer gets. And at number 1, the Ego Power Plus LST136 easily one of the most advanced battery-powered string trimmers you can buy in 2025, and the one I'd recommend to anyone who wants the best combination of cutting power, convenience, and durability in a cordless trimmer. Ego's outdoor tools have been winning over even die-hard gas trimmer users, and this model is a perfect example of why. The Powerload technology alone is a game-changer. If you've ever spent 5 minutes fighting to wind trimmer line correctly, you'll appreciate this. You just feed the line through, press a button, and it winds itself perfectly every time. It's the kind of quality of life upgrade that once you experience, you'll never go back from. Then there's the Line IQ system, which automatically senses when the cutting line gets short and feeds out more, keeping a full 16-inch cutting swath without you stopping or bumping the head. It's subtle in operation but huge for productivity, especially if you're trimming a large property or tackling a mix of open lawn and tight edges in one pass. The telescopic carbon fiber shaft is another highlight. Carbon fiber keeps it light at 7.5 pounds, but strong enough to feel rock solid in your hands. And the telescoping adjustment means you can set it exactly to your height. That's not just about comfort. It also keeps your cutting angle consistent, which makes for cleaner, more even results. And with a limited lifetime warranty on the shaft, you know Ego confident it will outlast the rest of the tool. Performance-wise, it's running a 56-volt 4.0 amp-hour ARC lithium battery, giving you up to 60 minutes of runtime, and in my experience, that's 60 minutes of strong, consistent cutting, not the kind where the power fades halfway through. The dual-line spiral twist 0.095-inch trimmer line slices through grass and weeds like a pro-grade gas model. And with IPX4 weather resistance, you can keep working even if the weather turns mid-job. The 2-speed digital selector gives you control over runtime versus power, so you can dial it back for light trimming around flower beds or crank it up to full speed for clearing overgrown areas. And because it's compatible with all Ego 56-volt ARC lithium batteries, you can extend your work time even further if you already own other Ego tools. If your goal in 2025 is to own the best high-performance cordless string trimmer for both residential and heavy-duty yard work, this is the one. It's the perfect blend of pro-level performance, consumer-friendly ease of use, and future-proof durability, a trimmer that feels like it's engineered for years of frustration-free yard care. And there you have it, the best string trimmers of 2025 that I've personally tested for power, control, and comfort. Whether you're edging a pristine lawn or tackling thick overgrowth, each of these models brings a unique advantage that makes trimming faster and cleaner. But if you want the absolute smoothest cut with the least effort, my number 1 pick still stands unmatched. Get the right trimmer, and you won't just maintain your lawn, you'll make it look professionally groomed every single time.